it's time to check out another unlicensed game on the old NES. How can you tell it's unlicensed? Well, it's gold, looks different from your standard cart, and it has the dip switch on the back. This time, it's Ultimate Stuntman. It was made by Codemasters. You know, the same guys who made Linus Spacehead. You might think that this game might be another steaming pile just like Linus, but don't get too excited because surprisingly, this game fares much better, although it does have its faults. You play as the Ultimate Stuntman, which does sound like a superhero from a comic book. He's contacted and told that some Dr. Evil kidnapped the Jenny Aykroyd, which happens to be a young scientist. Not really enough info for me to care, but it springs the hero into action immediately. You're then told who the first boss is, and then the game begins. It reminds me of Vice Project Doom, as there's several different styles of gameplay. The first level is a driving scene, which probably makes me think of Vice. Oh, there's a lot more here to worry about than Vice ever had. Your biggest threat is the speed. If you're not going fast enough, you can easily hit a ramp and fall right into the water here. I don't get this. Is it a sinkhole? A waterfall that's horribly drawn? I'm a little confused here. You do have access to a turbo option, but you have limited amount of these charges. You can also back up to get more speed to hit the harder jumps, but you do have a stringent time limit, so you can't take your time and just grab all the power-ups laying around. You do then have to fight a boss, which is very similar to Vice. Strangely, it's not the black car that you see in the beginning of the game, but some other vehicle. Get used to this, because this seems to be a trend in the game. After you complete the driving stage, you get a bonus level, which happens to be the only one I've seen so far in the game. You have to complete the extras, or so you're told. I thought the glowing pillars were the extras at first. Alas, that would be incorrect. Instead, you dodge those and grab the coins. I don't know what this gets you, since I can't really make it far since you can't adjust the speed. Oh well. Anyway, level 1-2 is your standard platforming fare. Your goal is to collect all of the keys stranded in the level, denoted by the number in the top right corner of the screen. If you get to the end of the stage without the keys, you'll have to backtrack and find them, and at the same time hope that you have enough time left to do so. This mode has your standard control scheme. B shoots, A jumps. You can hold the diagonal to shoot in different directions, although you can't shoot directly up or down. In addition, you can hold up while jumping to jump higher. Here's where most of the faults lie with the game. For one, enemy respawn times are near Ninja Gaiden levels. Kill an enemy, move an inch off the screen, come back, and the enemy will probably be there. At least you have a gun with infinite ammo though, so you can just keep shooting. The other major flaw is that there are times where you have to make a few leaps of faith. It's not really apparent in this stage, but when playing the game for this review, I couldn't get past the end of the second stage. After that was a water-based level, and the side-scrolling was held on a pier. So any falls would mean death, since the Ultimate Stuntman isn't above being able to swim. In any case, you would have had to jump around platforms hoping that there was something where you were landing. But in often cases, that something would be a platform and an enemy just laying in wait for you. It made the game become a strict memorization challenge. Anyway, moving on. Part 3 of each area seems to be a wall climbing stage. They're fairly simple. You guide the Stuntman up the wall, shooting any enemies in the way. In order to do this, you hold down either B or A, and the gun starts firing. While shooting, the Stuntman doesn't move, but instead his cursor does. Everything takes several hits, including small pieces of debris and mice. Right, a mouse takes several bullets to kill, but androids from the previous stage fall to one measly blast. Interesting. Anyway, once you make it to the top, you fight the boss, which looks like a robot with baboon's ass on its head. Its pattern isn't hard to figure out. After this, you reach my least favorite part of the game. Bomb defusal. Instead of just defusing it normally, or given the length of time you have in order to take care of it, find a new spot out of harm's way for it, you are told by your boss to desolder it. I am not making this up. You need to desolder the microchips. I got nothing else to say on that. It's just a simple puzzle. You have to pass by the numbers. Each number denotes how many passes you can make through it. Arrows force you to go a certain way. It's not really hard, but makes you think when you come to an intersection. You can press, I think it was B, but it could be A, to restart the puzzle, but the time doesn't reset. If the time drops to 0, you lose a life and have to try again. Apparently the villains thought to put multiple bombs there for you, just to give you another try. But if you passed one, the others don't detonate. You know what, it's a stupid idea. Forget I even attempted to make sense of it. Level 2 is a hang gliding stage. Stage 2-1 can be a little strange until you get used to the controls. B fires as normal, and the control pad moves the glider around. Holding down A puts on the brakes, which allow you to move around or grab a power-up easier. Again, a very stringent time limit. Here's a trick to the movement. Pressing up and down doesn't actually move your glider up and down. Instead, it changes your altitude. There is one wall that you have to line yourself up on in order to go through it, but you might not realize that at the first attempt until it's too late. Again, this doesn't make sense though, because your enemies don't change their altitude to be on sight with you. I guess that's the advantage of being a video game character. Logic doesn't need to exist. The boss of this stage looks to be a giant bird. It's actually here where I realized that the boss music actually sounds familiar. Maybe Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles too familiar. You want a comparison, don't you? Alright, fine. Stage 2-2 is a side-scrolling shooter. It's your basic affair, but I will say that you really need to grab those extra time power-ups, because the game doesn't give you enough to complete the stage without them. Seriously. Other than that, really nothing to mention about this one. Level 2-3 is another wall climbing one, where there is actually more shit in the way. So you have to actually move a bit more horizontally in this one. It's still not too bad. The boss is a giant slug. Although it's fairly easy, it doesn't really seem to give you enough room to fight it. If you have the upgrade gun, it's much easier, but doing it with the basic pea shooter isn't too bad. You then get another bomb disposal level, and this one I can't finish. Sorry, I hate this part, and once I lost all my lives, I had to start at level 2-1 again, since continues start you at the beginning. I just got pissed and stopped playing because level 2-1 and 2-2 aren't exactly easy. So those are the 8 levels I played. As I said previously, I've gone farther before, but couldn't when doing this review. The game's still pretty fun though, even with its flaws. The music is catchy, although the graphics can be hit or miss. The characters look okay, but the enemy androids in stage 1-2 have a really stiff walking animation. It's just strange. Ultimate Stuntman is still something I'd actually recommend. Of course, it's not the most amazing game out there, but it is something that I was enjoying. It's got some decent difficulty to it, the music is good, graphics are, I'd say, above par, and it was really trying something different with the multiple modes. Okay, it wasn't completely different since games like Vice and Battletoads already did it, but you know what I mean. Only thing I would have changed were those damn bomb disposal missions. In any case, give Ultimate Stuntman a shot. Final score? 7 out of 10. This is Reaper. Happy fragging.